Hello, happy Friday. My name is Wendy Witt. I'm an immigration attorney located in Dallas, Texas. I help people cross borders legally so they can live the American dream. Thank you for joining me on today's live Q&A. I'm going to be talking today about how the virus outbreak has impacted immigration services. I know there's a lot of confusion, a lot of conflicting news reports. Some offices are open, some are closed, what's really going on, and people have so many questions, and you probably have so many questions and concerned about your case and what's going to happen with all of these offices being closed or partially shut down. So please remember, this is information. It is not legal advice. If you have a case, if you have questions about a case, you need to talk to either the lawyer that you have on your case, if you have one, or an immigration attorney that you consult with. Now is not the time to be relying on Google searches, people who don't have law degrees, people who don't practice immigration, because they just don't know what's really happening. They haven't been through anything like this before, but many of us have, and we can help you. I'm not the only immigration attorney who's available online, who's doing online appointments. So many of my colleagues all over the world are helping people. We're still doing appointments. We're still seeing people. Most of us, I'm not going to the office. Most of the people I know aren't. Many people can't even leave their homes. Here, I'm going to the office a couple of times a week to check mail, but I'm not seeing anyone in person. Everything is being done for video, so I can still do face-to-face. I can still see people and talk just like this. So, what immigration services are closed? What is closed that we know of is appointments at USCIS field offices. Those are the local offices where you would go if you're having a naturalization interview or an adjustment of status interview. Those offices are right now all closed to public appointments. If you had an appointment, it's going to be rescheduled. You don't need to do anything. Just wait. You'll get a letter in the mail when a new date's available. We don't know now when that's going to be. Probably not at least until April or May at the soonest. Fingerprint appointments, that's the ASC support services, those are all closed. So if you had a fingerprint appointment, don't go, don't show up, you're not going to be let in, they're closed. Again, you'll get a letter in the mail when these appointments are available again. They will all be automatically rescheduled. There's nothing you need to do. Also closed, many immigration courts are now closed to non-detained hearings. Check if you have a case that's scheduled, check with your lawyer to make sure to know whether you need to go. Some are doing hearings by phone. You may need to call in. If you have a case that's pending in the immigration court and you had a court date in March, talk to your lawyer right away and find out what you need to do. These courts are still open for filings. So if you have a case, you have deadlines. You may have deadlines you don't know about. So if you've got an appointment to appear, even if the court's closed and you know that that's been scheduled, you still need to talk to a lawyer because your deadline's not going to be extended if you had one. Things like asylum have 1-year deadlines to file. Those deadlines are still going to be kept. Even if the court was not open for your hearing, you can still file your case. Consulates overseas. The consulates are open for the most part, but most of them are not open for what they would call routine visa services. So most visa appointments are going to need to be rescheduled. You're not going to be able to just go and do any kind of walk-in. What the exception is for U.S. citizen services, it appears that most of those services are still going to be conducted. If you're a U.S. citizen overseas and you have an emergency or you have a need, you should still be able to get help from your consulate. If you think you're going to have a problem, this may not be the case forever. So if you're overseas, let's say, for example, you lost your passport or something, you need to get back, you should call right away. While they say that they're going to try to remain open for these services, we really just don't know. What else is open is USCIS service centers. They're still accepting cases. You can still file your cases. All of these cases are still being processed. Many service center employees work from home anyway. We don't know how much of a disruption there will be, but this is not the time to not file a case. This is the time to keep going if you have one. USCIS lockboxes, they're still open for filing. USCIS field offices are still open for emergency services. They're still processing cases. ERO offices, this is ICE check-ins. If you have an ICE check-in, you need to contact your office to find out if they're open. Many are trying to do appointments by phone. Do not just ignore it and assume they're closed, because they might not be. Post offices, FedEx, UPS, you can still send your cases to immigration. You can still file your inquiries online. The website is still working. All of that's still available. And finally, I want to remind people that about immigration deadlines. It's really important to know that you should not expect that you're going to be excused from missing any deadlines in your case because of this. That just may not happen. If you have a request for evidence, if you had, if for example, if you were trying to file your H-1B, you're about an hour too late, all of that is still going on. If you have what they call a conditional green card, you have a 90-day window to file a removal of your conditions. These things are not you're not gonna get an exception because of what's going on. You should not expect it. You should still be ready to file your case. And for example, also, I don't think that they're going to see this as an excuse not to file an asylum application. For example, if you've been here for your 1-year deadline's coming up, you should still work with a lawyer to get your case filed. They are not going to believe that immigration lawyers aren't available, because we are available. I talk to hundreds of immigration attorneys on Facebook, on Twitter. We're here, we're working, and we want to help you. So if you're home and you're stuck and you have a case and it's time to move it forward, reach out. Reach out to anyone you know and trust who's an immigration lawyer. We're happy to help you through this. If you're viewing this and you're one of my clients, thank you so much. I wish the best for you. I have already contacted you in person if your case was impacted. If your case is not impacted, you're still going to hear from me very soon, just to check on you. So if you have any questions, please post questions in the comments. Any questions I receive, I'm going to answer during the next Q&A, which will be on Sunday afternoon. I'll post the time later. Thank you so much for anyone who joined and anyone watching this later. Stay safe, friends. Goodbye.